Hi, my name is Adeolu Adepoju. I'm here to discuss frozen food business. Some time ago, my wife and I decided that we're going to have a very prestigious frozen food center in Lagos. That is coming from the background of somebody who has lived a chunk of her life abroad and knows how best things are done in terms of food production and frozen food business. Of course, we had this dream of having one of the largest chains of food business in Nigeria. We had the plan to sell fresh beef, fresh pork, lamb, steaks, goat meat, etc. Poultry, fish, and all those stuff. So what did we do? We first of all went back to the UK. We bought in some chillers, heavy ones, the large ones. I hope you understand what I mean. We bought the electric saw, the one that can slice in, even cut through bones with ease and neat, so that at the end of the day you have equal chunks of meat. Of course, we brought in the electronic scales, we brought in the manual ones, we brought in nylon sealers and every other thing you can think about in terms of that business. Now, with the energy and the zeal to kick off something that looks like a very promising dream, we went on board with our business ideas and proposals. We wrote in the business stating how much we are expecting to realize in a certain period of time, what period do we expect a break-even, what period do we expect to start making profits. Yeah, isn't that a very beautiful dream? Won't you ask yourself, won't you ask every other person? It looks nice, because if you want to start a business and you're going to be spending about, let's say, about 1.2 million naira as of that time, because a chiller then cost about 350,000 naira, the electric saw was about 80,000, the sealer, the small one, about 15, 10, 20,000, depending on how much money you have. And of course, we buy the raw materials like the nylon, and then you start looking for a place to be. Now, we set out some amount of money as capital for the business, and we said, okay, we have so amount of money, let us kick off with this area at Ogba in Lagos. We paid in the money for, I think it was 2 years rent, and of course, in the process of searching for a very good place, we managed to get a place on the road, because our target then was that it must be open to the traffic. So we got a place just on that Ogba Ijaye road. We felt it was okay. There were banks not far off, thinking that our customers should be corporate people who will appreciate things like that. So what did we do next? After the payment, we set in. So not long after we set in, we got delivery of about 200 whiteboards. That's chicken, they call it broiler. So, and we placed the chickens in one of the shops. That's the inlet of the shop. But before the day was over, the landlady, that's the house owner, rushed down to us that it's impossible. How can you put in poultry where people live? That she wasn't going to tolerate it, that we had to take it out. To cut the story short, we started looking for alternative shops. We got one at Anthony, Anthony bus stop. That's the one around Bagada. Then we set up the place, got the rent. I think we paid for, was it 2 years or 3 years? Then the shop, we had to renovate the shop. Don't forget that we also had to renovate the shop at Ogba before it was habitable. When I mean renovate, when I said renovate, what I mean is that you change the tiles, you change the windows, you change the electricals, you buy your new bulbs, you repaint the walls, and you introduce your sink, that's your water system, because you need a lot of water. You secured a waste disposal system. You secured your water system, that's pure water system, and all the stuff. So then the next thing will be to kick off the business. Now, outside the business, the first thing we observed is that market wasn't very stable. That is, you get your market from K2, you get some from Agege. You mix all those things together. You buy crocker here and there. So you reprocess, you repackage the products. You buy your chickens, you repackage your chickens, you cut them very well. My wife was very, very, very zealous. She would go extra miles to Kara Market to get half goat meat. That's buy a big chunk of cow, that's beef. Then you take it and hang it on the hangers in the shop for people to come over, and when those products are displayed, it's easy for people to appreciate what we have. But not long, about a month into it, we started having to face the reality of the business. The first thing that we did not envisage about the whole stuff was that government actions. LASEMA visited us severally that we must pay for the signage. We did that. Lockup, that's local councils were there to say, you haven't paid for your lockup shops, we paid the tax. Then some guys will come and say, you need to pay for your business names and blah blah blah, you need to do that. Then the sanitation people will come over and say, you need to pay for sanitation because you are bound to dispose of your refuse on the road and all this stuff. Then of course neighbors. We had hostile neighbors, very, very hostile neighbors. One of the things we did not consider before we moved in is that the rate of rent of those shops so high that because we were starting a new business, we never thought about it. That how about the people that were staying here before? Has there ever been any business who had been in this shop or this premise before that actually after the initial tenure of 2 years or 3 years that still retain the shop? We never asked that question, which is very key, because there's no how you can pay about 250,000 naira then, as far back as 2010, 250,000 naira per annum, and you expect that is breaking into about 20,000 naira a month, and you're expecting that somebody who is a seamstress or a fashion designer or who has a canteen can make a turnover and have a profit of 20,000 naira to pay per month to a landlord for accommodation of that business. There are a lot of things that business startups don't think about when they're starting up their businesses, which unfortunately I was a victim. My wife was a victim of it. Another thing we did never consider was that the staff, who is going to manage the place when you're not there? Are you going to be there 24/7? Because if you are there, who's going to develop new businesses? So we thought about it that, okay, while we're developing new businesses, let somebody be like a salesperson, a sales representative at the shop to at least monitor the events and make sales in our absence, whether we are there or we are not there. The first thing for us is that, see, there is no way you can get good labor except there's an organized labor. What I mean by organized labor is that let's assume that there's an agency that deals with recruitment of unskilled laborers. Let's say a company can start up and say, okay, I'll kick off with the That's recruitment. That's recruitment and training of artisans that cannot be posted to businesses who require them. But then there was nothing of such, so you had to scout for your own salesperson by yourself. And of course, let me tell you something: 95% of people you will get, they are thieves, they are rogues. They don't want your business to grow. They don't care about your business. All they care about is their money, their salaries at the end of the month. And another thing they care about is that how much money can they make off you on a daily basis. That is very key. Once you close your eyes, believe me, they are stealing from you. There are several ways which they can steal from you. Several ways. You have to find out by yourself and find a way of blocking those loopholes. Some of the ways they can steal from you is that they may not make sales for you. They may drive away your customers. They may be so rude to customers and they don't care. They don't give a damn. It's not their business anyway. So what the heck? So they drive away your customers. They drive away your revenue. So you don't have any means of controlling that except you are physically there and do what we call damage control. Another thing we did not consider was fluctuating power supply. Because you are dealing with frozen food, it's very sensitive, has expiry, very strong expiry, as in short expiry. So you have to keep your foods at all times frozen. What that means is that you need to buy a generator good enough to power your freezers and your AC. Now, what that means is that you'll be burning extra money on fuel, which you might not have thought about. Is key that you key into this kind of advice. Think about your power supply, think about your staff. It's very critical that you must think about those two things. If you don't, you're not in good business. Now, what happens next is that before you kick off your business, also take care of all these government agencies. Give what belongs to Caesar. Pay all your tithes, all your taxes ahead. The government does not care about you as a startup. Naturally, there should be a kind of tax leave for you for maybe for a period of 6 months, 1 year, before government will start disturbing you, because they are the ones who say they want to employ people, they want to get people out of the streets. Now, because you have little money to start up, you are employing people, taking away some of the people that the government ought to have taken out of the street. You are helping the government to take them out, but the government doesn't care about that. They don't care. All they care about is how much money they can make from you. They don't care if your business survives or if it doesn't survive. If it doesn't survive, it doesn't have any effect on them. If it survives, it doesn't have any effect on them. In fact, it's better that your business survives because they'll be coming to you, but they don't realize that all they care about is the initial money they're going to make from you. Now, what happens next is that we have to start. Another thing we did not consider was the fluctuation in prices. You go to one cold room today, you tell you a package of croquet that's 10 kg was about 6,000 something. By the time you go back the next week or next month, it's about 7,000 something. By the time you go back again, it keeps rising, 10,000, all those stuff. So you have to consider all those things. Now, one thing is that after a period of about 8 months, my wife was able to break through a cartel of people who import seafood. So we were able to get that on Apapa. So from Apapa, we were getting our own direct allocation from the ships, and that's through the help of some guys in the ministry. And we had a deal with some Chinese guys who requested for a particular type of fish. So all that we were required of was to have a cold room. They will get the fish to us and they will come and pick them up from us. So within a period of 1 year, we were able to grow the business. But one thing that was certain is this: the business died several times in the period of 1 year. But what sustained us was because there was enough money to pump into the business to nurture it. So that brings us back to the initial statement which I made in other previous videos, that you do not keep all your money into start up a business. It's good to dream big. It's very nice to dream big, but however big you have, your dream is, if your dream is not scary, it's not good dream. So if your dream is big enough, that's when it is good. However, you don't put all your money into a business that you are just starting up. What you do is to keep a chunk of it in a bank or in a savings or frozen somewhere, and learn the trade step by step. As you grow, the business will be requesting for that money which you have kept somewhere. So you need to go back to the savings and get the monies out for that business. Once the money is out for the business, after a period of time, the business will be comfortable, the business will be able to retain and sustain itself and be able to move on. Part of the things that we did was to think out of the box. Out of the box means that are we just a roadside food seller? Is that what we want to be? Of course not. That's not what we want to be. That's not the plan. The plan is to have a chain of businesses, supply chain of businesses. So we have to start opening up the supply channels. We have to painstakingly go through all the rigors of talking to hoteliers, talking to supermarket owners, talking to other food joints, restaurants, and all this stuff to make supply. You go into the bush to look for the cheapest eggs which you can supply at the smallest the smallest margin, but you gain your money in turnover. That's at the rate at which you can turn the money over and over. So we're able to achieve that. So my advice to people who are going into food frozen food business is this. Number one, do not cite your shop because you found a shop on the road means that is good. That is not an answer. It is not a solution. Look for a residential place, however small that place is, a place that people are still moving till 9-10 in the night, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. That is the ideal place for you to site your shop. Set your shop on the road or the streets, on the side of the road that people take when they are driving home, not when they are driving out, when they are driving home. That is the ideal place for you to start your frozen food business. Now, when you get that, you do not need an elaborate shop. All that you need is just a container, a space that can take in your freezers, that can take in your cutters, your slicers, your chillers, and all this stuff. Let me tell you one hint. Let me give you a hint of what happened. Because we were there, and of course you were staying there, you needed to have some things to be eating by yourself. You need to have food around you. You need to have drinks. So my wife will put in a bag of pure water in the freezer, and to our surprise, people were requesting for this pure water, and until somebody just asked us that, why don't you start selling this water? Why are you giving it out free? Because we were giving it as complimentary before. He said, no, you can sell it. You'll be amazed about the amount of money you make off it. What did we do? We started selling the pure water, and I tell you, the pure water business was very profitable. We're not spending any extra money on freezing. Or you already have the freezer, of course. The freezer is there. All you just need to do is to put the water in it, and that's bingo. After some time, people will start requesting for drinks. People will start requesting for seasonings. People will start requesting for packaged food like powdered yam and beans, all of this stuff. So that is where your innovation now comes, because what that means is that the business is already creating enough awareness. People are already knowing that you exist there. So when people start knowing that you are existing, they will start asking for things that will make them more comfortable. So you have to listen very well to what they ask. So it is from what they ask that you'll be able to design the new and package new products for them. You'll be so shocked that you started up with the intention of selling frozen chicken and poultry. You find that you end up selling seafood mix. You ended up being the major income or source of income that you will have. Maybe food stuff, maybe tomato paste, maybe yam, can be rice. So the market will be telling you what to do, and you keep listening. Don't be rigid and say, oh, this is my brand, and you stick to your brand. Yeah, make your brand flexible. You make your brand mobile. Let it be flexible enough for people to be able to access you, and for you to be able to understand the needs of your customers. Remember, customer is king, and they consume what they want. It's not what you want them to consume. They will tell you what they want to consume. So on this note, I'll tell you, take this advice very seriously for these people, especially people who want to start up frozen food business. Please take this very, very, very careful. You can start your business very close to a marketplace, because people will naturally go to the market to buy things for themselves. So start your business close to the marketplace, or start your business close to your house, a residential place that you can easily stroll down and all this stuff. Then pay your utility bills, take that into consideration. Buy new products, new freezers. Don't use old ones. If you use old ones, what you don't know about it is that old technologies consume a lot of energy. New technologies consume less. So in order for you to reduce the cost of powering your equipment, it's good to buy energy efficient, power efficient equipment or tools or facilities. That will save you a lot of money at the end of the day. You may not see it initially, but I tell you what, it's actually very, very cost effective, because with your little generator of about 3.5 kV, you should be able to power up your deep freezers, 2 of them, if they are good and they are energy efficient. They will do you good. And another thing is that try to register with people who can supply you. So it is okay initially when you are starting up, you have to look for the suppliers, but as you grow, you have to look for people who can actually supply you. Go to the source. Don't go to people who will sell and make profits before selling to you. Go to the source. Try and find out where they get their own products from. To join the association of people who buy from the source. Register with the source. If you are selling frozen food, register with poultries, who you know that they will be disposing of their poultry anytime. Then register with fishing companies if it's possible. If you want to make it big, if you don't want to remain a roadside person, register with all those people. Then get your market very correctly. There are 2 types of market that will come to you and market that you will go to. However, whichever one, you need good packaging. Create a package, a branding system for yourself, a branding packaging for yourself with good labels, and be neat. Be courteous to your customers, and be persistent. Initially, you will not make it too quickly, but once the awareness is there, you will start making it. But let me tell you another thing. Once you do something that is very beautiful in this part of the world, even outside of this part of the world, everywhere you go, there's something that is peculiar to businesses: competition. Competition will always find you out. Competition will always find you out and try to overtake you. If you're not fast enough, competition will always overtake you. You will be so shocked that people who come to you as customers, they are coming to make inquiries, direct or indirect inquiries about your businesses. So they'll come to ask you this and that and that and that. It's not because they love you, it's because that they want to learn on how you're doing yours. They try to imagine how much money that you are making in sales. So once they get that, you'll be so shocked, and they find out that the place that you are selling is very profitable. You'll be so shocked that the next shop to you will be your competitor. That's a fact. That's from experience. I know that very well. So you have to think far ahead of competition. So you also need to identify the people who consume your product. You can package your food and have a delivery system. If you have a good website, if you have a good information medium, you can actually have a very good delivery system where people call in to request for so. But if you have to go into a delivery system like that, please, you have to be very honest, because customers are very sensitive to prices and quality. So you have to be very honest. If you are selling something for 1 kg, don't cheat. Let your 1 kg be 1 kg. Let your half kg be half kg. Don't cheat. So once customers observe this, they may not tell you. It's not every customer that will come and tell you, give you feedback about your product. A lot of them will just shy away and just walk away like that. It's only the ones that love you that will come back to you and ask you, why did you do this, or give you a query. Anybody who gives you a query loves you, wants you to survive. The many people don't care about your business. Only you must care about your business. So one of the things you must do is that make sure that you are neat, make sure that you don't cheat, your prices are correct, your pricing is correct. No cheating, and make sure that you get in trusted people to man your business when you're not there. In fact, find a way which you can use to manage your system, whether you are online or you are offline. You should be able to manage your system, know what your business is doing when you are there and when you're not there. Have a very, very good system of bookkeeping. Anything that comes into your business, any money you make, every money you make must be recorded, and every money you spend must be recorded. You must never ever use part of the business money to eat or to spend on yourself. Otherwise, you kill your business, you kill yourself. So if you are broke, be broke. Don't say you are broke and your business has money. That means you have money. There's a difference. Your business is your business, you are you. Let your business give you salaries or wages when it is time, when it is ripe for it to do that. But before then, sorry, you still have to be pumping the money to that business. You cannot add your money, your pocket money, and your business money together in the same purse, in the same wallet. No, don't ever do that. If you're going to pay for service on your business, let it come from the business account. If you make any money, maybe wages, let it go into your business account. Bookkeeping is very, very, very essential. It's very essential. So after this video, I hope we've been able to learn one or two things from this video. We'll be giving you more video on other jobs or possibility, and before you start up a business, what you should think about and what you should not do. Don't make the same mistakes that other people have made. You can learn from other people's experience. You can learn from mentors. You can learn from people's experience. Make your research very well before you delve into the business you want to do, and know the business very well before you go into it. Don't be shy learning from people. You have to go back under the tutelage of some experienced people and learn how they did it to be successful. With that, I know that success is yours. Thank you. But before you hang up this video, please don't forget to like our video and subscribe to our channels. Thank you and bye bye.